coffee. Gotta have coffee. Okay, let's see. Get the chat up. Wow, I'm actually a minute early. How did I manage that? I'm a minute early. Come on, tablet. Don't give me a hard time. Okay, we got a tablet. We need headphones. We need headphones. Okay. Yeah, I start early and Kathy's here early too. I got several complaints that the mic was too low last night. So I upped it. I hope it's not too loud now. You know, that's what they make volume controls for on your computer. You know, turn the volume up if. No, I get all kinds of messages. Could hardly hear you. Now, when I did the playback, I wasn't. I heard it all right. It was a little low. But I guess people want it like concert pitch. So I hope this is louder than last night. You just can't please everybody. Watch tomorrow I'll get, oh my God, your volume was so loud. Well, you wanted it that way. I think I'm almost maxed out. I don't think I can turn it up any louder. Well, you said the same thing last night. You know, it sounded good. I did the playback. It sounded all right. It could have used, for me, it could have used a titch more, but I've got this thing turned up almost max now. Yeah, I got emails and messages. Your mic is too low. Okay, now it's gonna be too fucking high. Man, this cold weather. God. I want to do the breaks. And I look at the forecast and it says high of 68. I'm like, okay. At noon, it was still like 59. So I look at the forecast again, it says 5 o'clock, high of 68. Well, I can't go out there and start a brake job at 5 o'clock and expect to be done and cleaned up by 7. But I can't work in the cold. So I'm hoping it's going to be, you know, now tomorrow they're saying 70 with clouds. I want the sun. believe it, at 5 o'clock, it was 68. I have two different weather apps now. I have the weather app for Channel 19, which I hate the forecaster, but I put that up. And then I have, I can't remember the name of the other app, but it gives strictly Cleveland weather. So tomorrow I'm going to go back and forth between the two apps and see what they. I couldn't find an app for Channel 8. I have one for 19. I have one for ABC, which I didn't download. I have this Cleveland weather app. I was hoping they had a Dick Goddard Weather Center app. I'm sure they probably do. I guess I'll have to watch Channel 8. Hey, the Ronbo's here. All right, let's get going. Broadcasting live from station WDWL TV Studio 1. Corporate office is located on Grumpy Vulture Boulevard, and my studios are located on Grumpy Old Man Road. And for you first timers, this is me. And introducing the Grumpy Jackalope. All right, and the Grumpy Vulture. Take your bow. I had enough of you. That's it. Zip tie. You're done. Too loose. You'll be shaking it off next. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. I'll hear about that in the morning. Oh, oh. One way to keep his beak shut. Good old zip tie. Well, I remember, oh man, when my son was working out at that company out in Twinsburg, it was amazing the shit they threw away. There was a rule. Get this. Any trailer that they opened that had damaged merchandise, you immediately called the front office. They called the insurance company. The insurance company would write that whole load off and tell them to destroy it. Now, the one day they opened a semi-trailer and the boxes at the back of the trailer were leaning. The banding broke and it just leaned over and was touching the side of the trailer. Now, the whole trailer, 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% was full of boxes of various size zip ties. They called this shit damaged merchandise. It was the boxes leaning over. None of the zip ties were damaged. So, the rule was the employees could help themselves, but it had to be out of the dumpster. I mean, big deal. You're taking it out of the trailer and throwing it in the dumpster. You can't open a box on the dock. So, my son comes home with, God, it got to be 10,000 fucking zip ties. I got bags of monster zip ties, 6 foot long, and an inch wide to little itty bitty zip ties that are about 3 inches long and about the size of string. The stuff that he brought home, I have 3 different design professional chef's knives. Now, these aren't what you buy in the store. These fucking knives are like this long, like they use at a buffet when they're carving ham or turkey. These goddamn blades are so sharp. I cut myself one day. I didn't even know it until I saw the blood running down my hand. It's like, holy fuck. Same shit. This box fell over. I got woven baskets of all different sizes. God, what else? I'm trying to think. He brought so much shit home. The knives were, he brought, instead of knives, he brought home boxes. He was giving them out to the neighbors. The rule was, you could, within reason, take out of the dumpster. If you did, items had to be given away. If you put anything on eBay, you were terminated. Or on Facebook Marketplace. They had a tech room at this place. And all these employees did all day long was scanned websites. TikTok, Facebook, you name it. eBay. And they would look on eBay for the items that were in the dumpster. And they caught one employee. Now, they had a good thing going. I mean, God, those knives, when I use it, I immediately clean it, I dry it, I put it back in the sheet, I put it in the drawer gently. One employee took, I guess, multiple boxes. And the dumbass puts them on eBay. Under their son's sales name. So they see these knives and they see, I can't remember what city is next to Twinsburg, but they see that city. Well, it didn't take them long to figure out which employee lived in that city. So they still weren't 100% positive. So one of the guys in the tech department ordered one of these big carving knives and had it sent to his house. About a week later, he gets the carving knife. Yeah, macadamia. Yeah, right. I forgot. I didn't live out that way. I'm a West Sider. The employee gets the knife, and the dumbass uses his own return address. Now, you would think if you have a possibility of getting caught selling merchandise that you're not allowed to sell, wouldn't you use like a fucking post office box? No. So they call them in the front office. Have a seat. We have suspicion that you're selling merchandise obtained out of the company dumpster. Who, me? No, me? They hold up the box. And he turned white. The blood literally drained from his face. And the HR person said, "You know what happens next, don't you?" Termination. Security will follow you to your locker. You are officially, as of now, terminated. That company had oh my God, the benefits plan. Jesus Christ. Paid hospitalization. Paid. You don't have to contribute. Paid. And it was a kick-ass hospitalization plan. You got a day, a month, PTO. You got 12 PTO days a year. Paid. First 3 years, paid 2-week vacation. And I'd never heard of this. You got 4 hell with it days. You can call in and say, "The hell with it, I ain't coming in today." Okay. Separate and apart from PTO. And The hell with the days were paid. Now, here comes the amazing thing. The company is owned by two Jewish brothers. All them benefits. He kissed them all goodbye. And they were paying an excellent wage, too. And every morning, the two brothers would walk through the whole plant. Now, this place is monstrous. You could barely see the end of the warehouse from where you were standing. They would greet every single employee every morning. And they knew every single employee by name. And they knew about their families. They would ask, how's your son doing? How's your daughter doing? How's your wife? By name. How's Sandra doing? How's Charlie doing? How's Vivian doing? Every single... And they knew the temps by name. Because my son started as a temp. And then they told the temp agency, we want to hire him. And then he fucked the job up. Oh, yeah, Kathy, you know, people complain. Oh, them goddamn Jews. The money grabbing Jews. You work for a Jewish person. Like when I was working for the Jewish funeral home, I'm as Gentile as can be. They were great to me. Absolutely. I loved going out there. Good old Berkowitz Cumin Boo Cats. Also, Miller Deutsch. It's been years. I knew some Yiddish. Not anymore. Although, when the rabbi would start the final prayer at the end of the service, I recognized it. Because everybody be sitting around, I'd be like, hey guys, showtime. Everybody get, okay, time to go. Who, the Jewish funeral home? Or the two brothers that own that big company? All right, gee, back it in the driveway already. About time. Oh, God, I'm trying to think. of the guy that owned Forest City Properties, not Forest City, the lumber company. Sam Miller. Sam Miller. Sam Miller must have had $2,000 worth of, oh God, what was the female coin, the dollar coin? I can't think of it. They minted that dollar coin, and it was a female on the coin. Oh, Susan Anthony, the the big joke. Those coins, oh, but the Susan B. Anthony dollar coin. Sam Miller must have bought $5,000 worth of them goddamn coins. And if you would see him, and you would walk up, to, hey Sam, how you doing, buddy? He'd reach in his pocket and go, here for recognizing me, and he'd give you a Susan B. Anthony coin. Everybody that would recognize him and walk up to him, he would give him, here, thanks for recognizing me. He was a trip. Good old Sam Miller. Owned Forest City Properties, Forest City Development, everything except Forest City Lumber. Oh yeah, Kathy, them two brothers, they gotta be in their late 80s by now, because they were up there in years when my kid worked for them. But generous, oh, cared about their employees. And at Thanksgiving you got a turkey, and at Christmas you got a ham. Get that. Jews giving away ham. And they gave away, at Christmas, everybody got a Christmas present. And the interesting thing, they gave away men's expensive beard trimmer, fancy kit. And when my son opened it, he said, boy, my dad would love one of these. The next day was a wrapped beard trimmer kit with my name on it. Take this home to your dad. I didn't even work there. They didn't even know me. They would, oh God. And he screwed the job up. And forgiving, they got this big lift truck in that would go 4 stories. That's how high the warehouse was. It would go 4 stories. This machine was $500,000. They had it 2 weeks. Guess whose kid crashes the thing. He almost knocked over 40 foot of A-frames with merchandise. 2-week-old $500,000 vehicle. His supervisor said, well, I guess you're done. The two brothers walked out. They looked at the damage. They said to my kid, are you hurt? No. Be more careful. We can fix that. Skin, we can't fix that easy. Just be more careful. Yeah, that's what I said, Kathy. Oy vey, I couldn't believe it. He was so scared, he called me and he said, I think I'm fired. I said, what do you mean, fired? I just wrecked the $500,000 lift truck. I was, yep, you're fucked. You're fired. He called me later on and he went, they just told me to be more careful. I'd have fired him. Myself. And you know what it boiled down to, Kathy? We're listening to our music. Got the earpods in, the AirPods, whatever them goddamn things are from Apple. And he was tuning in some music. Not paying attention when he took the corner. 2-week-old $500,000 machine. Be more careful. I told him, I said, you shouldn't even be listening to fucking music on the floor. Pay attention to your job. You don't need music. They were afraid to issue a company policy stating no cell phones on the work floor for fear the employees would bitch. Well, there was the perfect example why you don't need to have your cell phone and earpods. The only person I know to get fired from 3 jobs in rapid succession. Sifron and 2 Amazon jobs. 2 different Amazon companies. Enough on that subject. My blood pressure's going up. And you know, Amazon is quite lenient with their employees. I should say the franchisees. If you work for Amazon proper, there's rules. The franchisees are very flexible. Although, Jesus Christ, I I ordered a bunch of stuff for the Passat. I ordered, the mirrors and the big door regulator section for the window and brake pads, and then I had to order a special goddamn tool set because you can't put rear brakes on a Volkswagen without special tools. I look at my tracking. All right, you got FedEx, you got UPS, you got the post office. Then you have GoFo Express, Uni, Yun Express, and I can't remember the sixth one. And then I got one package coming, Amazon Logistics. I'm like, Amazon Logistics? Yeah, Amazon ships packages for customers like FedEx and UPS. I didn't know you could call Amazon to ship a package. Something that isn't even connected with Amazon. I have two packages coming, Amazon Logistics. But between GoFo, Uni, and Yun, yeah, YUN, Yun Express, Uni, UNI, Uni. These delivery companies are popping up like weeds. And like Yun and Uni and GoFo, their websites show trucks, employees in uniform. Not here. People using their car or minivan, wearing whatever clothes they want to wear. I even, believe it or not, I have a package coming DHL. Now, DHL was big back in 2000. Then they shuttered the whole operation. And the reason I know that is because I almost bought a DHL franchise. Thank God I didn't do that. I actually saw the train was headed west. A trainload of DHL vehicles, evidently coming from the East Coast. There must have been 2,000 trucks on that train. I'm just watching them. And then I see DHL e-commerce. Now, I don't know what the e-commerce is, but it's amazing now on eBay. You have no idea who's shipping your package until you get your tracking information. And then, oh, am I pissed off. There were 3 different sellers that were handling that big regulator unit for my door glass. So I picked the one that said shipped via FedEx because it was coming from California, and I figured FedEx would get it here quicker than the post office. I get my tracking information, and it says USPS Economy. I looked. Oh, did I write them a blistering email? The guy answers back, well, the computer chooses the shipping method. So I wrote back, if the computer chooses the shipping method, why do you have FedEx? FedEx Ground. You should have shipped by various shippers. So he says, I'll refund you $3. I said, $3? It costs you more to ship it than $3. I'll refund you $6. I says, okay, I'll take it. Yeah, right on. And he couldn't argue with me because I would have gone right to eBay. And I would have said, deceptive practice here. They're saying they're shipping this FedEx, and the post office has got it. And believe me, it's coming by carrier pigeon. Jesus. Because I would like to get the mirror on that door and get an operating window. Because when I back in the driveway, I like to put the windows down so I have a clear view of my side mirrors. I can't put the window down and I don't have a mirror. Busted off. Well, I have a mirror. I could put the... No, I can't put the window down. I was going to say I could put the window down and hold the mirror in my hand. I do not look forward to putting that assembly together. With them chintzy plastic clips, I just know I'm going to break something. In the Chilton's manual, it says basically put the window all the way down and then you have to basically hold it as close as you can and then slide the metal clip on the bottom of the glass into the plastic assembly and tighten it down. Then go to the other side and do the same thing. I'm like, oh, I'm going to break it. I'm really considering calling Safelight and asking them how much they would charge to do it. Because they're professional. Plus, if they break it, they buy it. Oh. Oh, here's a good one. I called the key shop today. And I asked them, I said, do you cut those stupid keys for the Volkswagens with the squiggle? He said, yes. I said, how much? $12. Okay. Then he says to me, you have to have the car here. I says, why? Well, I have to program the remote. I said, I don't need it programmed right now. Get this. He has to program the key. Because if he just cuts the key, it won't start the car. There's a chip inside the key fob for the key. So he needs the car there to program the remote and the key. I never heard of such a thing. He said, yeah, I can cut the key. It won't work. Won't start the car. I said, what an asinine setup that is. So I says to him, I said, well, unfortunately, you're going to be programming it in January in the snow. He said, why is that, sir? I said, because I can't legally drive it until then. I mean, I can understand anti-theft, but that's ridiculous. Program the remote so that it'll lock and unlock the doors, open the trunk, and have a panic button. And then he has to program the key. I didn't bother to ask him how much all the programming is. I'll worry about that come January. That's almost as bad as those goddamn, back in the day, the GM keys that had the little black chip. You couldn't go to just any key shop because you had chip A, B, C, D, or E. And if you happen to get a key with chip E and your car took chip B, it wouldn't start. Oh, they had some goofy shit back in the day. And in the beginning, you could only get the key from a dealer. Of course, the dealer charged like 3 times as much, you know. Yeah, you wanted a duplicate key because you lost a key. You had to go to the dealer, and they stuck your key in a little box. It was about the size of a pack of cigarettes. Had a little key slot in it, and a little readout screen. And it would say A, B, C, D, or E. Then they would go back and get the key and cut it for you. That'll be $20. What, for one fucking key? Yep. But with these goofy squiggly keys, you can only go to the dealer or a locksmith that does them keys. And not every locksmith in my area does them. Because I called the one down the street, and he was, nope, I don't do them. Go to the place in Lakewood. I know them well. They've been in business 84 years. I've been going there 50. I know right where they're at. Unbelievable bullshit. And these new cars. My buddy has a 18 or 19 Dodge Ram. And you stick the key fob in the ignition. The key fob has a cutout, and it fits in the ignition switch. And that's how you start the truck. No key, you stick the key fob in the ignition. And then the woman down the street has a Buick something. Starts with an E, Envision or something. And no key, just a key fob, and you push the button on the dash. She walks up to the car and the doors unlock. Then she gets in, steps on the brake, pushes the start button. When she gets home, she pushes on the brake, and the start button is also the stop button. And then when she gets so many feet away from the car, it automatically locks the doors. What's that, Kathy? The key fob in the ignition? Yeah, it's a stupid looking thing. It kind of tapers down, and then it's cut down, and it goes right in the ignition switch. The whole key fob. I'll give you the website, and you can look up a picture of it. It is the stupidest looking thing. Also, by the way, thanks for sending me that information. I found it quite interesting. I might be signing up for something. Something. Especially considering it's free. Because I'm cheap. Ah, good old Zippo fires every time. Yeah, I found it quite interesting. I really appreciate it. Gives us old farts something to do in the winter. Well, not saying you're old. Sorry. Didn't I like this? How's the eyes? Getting better by the hour? You should almost be ready to go bebopping around now. Take that F-150 out and do some cruising on the country roads. Yeah, well, sometime when I get up in the morning, my frame of mind is, ugh. I slept funny last night. I woke up this morning, the middle of my back was, oh, Jesus. You know, that memory foam mattress is a pain in the ass. Because it's got too much of a memory. I'm actually considering getting rid of it. I really am. Buying a different one. Everybody, oh, friends of mine, oh, memory foam. Oh, you love it, you love it. Not me. Of course, they show on TV it springs right back up, when you get out of bed. No. I roll over and I'm waiting for the mattress to. The whole thing is, if I get a new mattress, I have to buy the same goddamn twin XL 10 inches. Although maybe there's a furniture mattress place just down the road, Northeast Factory Direct. They advertise on TV all the time. I'll have to go in and see how much mattresses are there. Give this one to somebody that likes memory foam. Because well, it's extra, maybe that's part of the problem. It's an extra firm. But I don't like that memory foam. I really don't. Last night I was watching Sky News, and they were showing sentencings in the British courts. Now, you watch a sentencing in an American court, it's like 10 minutes, maybe 15. Over there, half hour, 45 minutes, an hour. Oh my God. They read all kinds of shit. They read the police report. And then the judge, like this one guy, he gave somebody a dirt nap. And the judge looks over his glasses and goes, "You destroyed that family with your wanton, reckless disregard using an illegal gun." And then at the end of the sentencing, I love it because the jail cells, the holding cells, are underneath the courtroom. And when the judge is done sentencing, he goes, "Take them down." And they take them downstairs and put them in a holding cell until they take them to prison. But I love that. Take them down. Because when the judge is ready to sentence, he'll look at the defendant. "You will stand now." And then the defendant has to stand in the box. That's another neat thing. The box. And then when they're done sentencing, take them down. Uh-oh. It was quite interesting. I watched probably 10 to 12 different sentencing, different judges. And the women judges are just as nasty as the men. But they got the wigs. I love them wigs. And the fancy red. They're like coats. And then a tuxedo shirt with a tie that comes out like an X. Real dignified. I love their judges over there. And then the judge sits in a big, huge chair. Almost looks like a little kid sitting in a giant, Because when the judge comes out and goes to sit down, they actually have two people that push the chair in so that the judge can sit down. Here you go. And before the judge comes into the courtroom, they knock 3 times. Dot, dot, dot. And then the judge opens the door. Their legal system is so cool over there. I love their court system. If you get on YouTube, look up Sky News. I'm pretty sure that's what the website. And then it'll have the different sentencings. And they show the appeals court too, which is cool because every barrister in the appeals court is got a frickin' wig and a black outfit. And then the judge has got the red with the white tuxedo shirt and a big cross tie. Probably takes the judge an hour just to get in all that gear and then put the wig on. Matter of fact, I was talking to Nomad about it one time, and he said each judge has to buy their own wig. I thought maybe they had a bunch of them on heads in the back and you just put it on. He said that wigs are like 2,000 pounds, which is about $1,600 US. But I'm pretty sure it's Sky News because there's a logo up in the corner, Sky News. And they film all the sentencings in court. I wish they would show a trial. Because from what I hear, British trials well, even a simple trial goes like a month. Because I remember watching this one interrogation one, and this one woman was a specialist on plants and dirt. And she said, I was giving evidence for 7 days. I'm like, what you just told us that you discovered took like 10 minutes. But the sentencings are neat. Because they read through the police report, and of course the judge comments, looks over his glasses, and then they read all the law that applies to the sentencing, because they'll say like egregious injury to person from 1864. I'm like, jeez. And then when it comes time, the judge, you will stand. Matter of fact, one guy, he didn't want to get up right away. The judge said, I told you, you will stand. And then evidently he got up. Then at the end, take him down. Get down to the bottom, beat him. Yeah. No. I wish they would show the defendant, like when he's standing in the box, but the camera is constantly on the judge. But it is very interesting how they do their sentencings over there. And then, you get a life term, okay? Now, life in America is life. Over there, a life term, you can serve 20 years, 25, 30, 35, and then the parole board decides if you can get out. But then, you're on probation, or they call it on license, for the rest of your life. The only time you survey real life is when they say a whole life term. That is basically life without parole. But when the judge says, I sentence you to a life term with a minimum of 30 years. Well, it ain't a life term. Unless the parole board says, no, you're not getting out. Try again. Oh, you don't hear a peep. You don't hear it. You'd think the judge is talking to himself. Even when he passes sentence, like, in the U.S., people, yay, you got life. Nope, not a word. No one is allowed to make a sound. Even when they say, take them down, you don't hear nobody crying or nothing. Nope. Very interesting, though. Then, you want to hear something really odd. I can't remember if it's the House of... You have two. You have the House of Commons and the House of Lords. That's like their Congress and their Senate. In one of them, you would think that they're in a bar. I can't remember. I'll try to find it on YouTube. I can't remember if it's the House of Commons or the House of Lords. But the one guy stood up and hit, my esteemed colleague is an asshole. And then everybody's like, yeah. And then the other guy gets up and insults him back. I was like, are they in a bar or are they in an honorable setting? Yeah, they insult the shit out of each other. Yeah, the one guy stood up. My esteemed colleague is an asshole. Then the colleague gets up and insults him back. Power. Oh, come on, power. I'll try to find it, Kathy. And if I do, I'll send it to you. I watched it, it has to be 3-4 months ago. I couldn't believe it. Here's this guy standing up. My esteemed colleague is an asshole. It's got to be the House of Commons. I don't think the House of Lords is probably more dignified, but they insult each other back and forth. It's hilarious. I'm pretty sure it's the House of Commons. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, he stands up. My esteemed colleague is an asshole. And then everybody around him, yeah. And then across the room, he stands up. My esteemed colleague is a dickhead. And it goes back and forth until they've insulted each other out. British government. I I never laughed so much in my life. I'm like, this is government? I'm looking around because the camera's kind of panning, and I'm like, well, they're not in a bar. I guess it's part of the procedure. If you don't insult your colleague, I guess your colleague gets hurt feelings or some shit. Yeah, 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 the house of smack. I think they should do that like in the Senate. Could you imagine the Democrats and the Republicans going back and forth like that? It is crazy. Absolutely crazy. I'm going to have to do some research and see if I can find that. There were several videos, but I can't remember. It wasn't Sky News, not that one, no. Because they had done some big formal reading of some law or something that they wanted to vote on. And I guess they took the first vote and it didn't go like they thought. And the guy stands up. My esteemed colleague is an asshole. I was like, she's surprising they get anything done. And then there was something today in the news about King Charles and Queen Godzilla. Oh, that broad is ugly. Oh my God. What Charles sees in her. Oh. I wouldn't sleep with that on if I was totally drunk. I could see waking up to that in the morning. Holy shit! I'm sleeping with a bulldog. Oh, Queen Godzilla. I can't wait. Supposedly, he's going to step down like next year. Because he's going to concentrate on his health. I can't wait. I think William and what's her name would make a better king and queen. Then I was reading a news story where during a formal dinner when Trump was visiting, she was sitting next to him and supposedly he was like kind of hitting on her. Kate. God. Four-letter name and I can't remember it. Yeah, Catherine. Leave it to our president to insult, the future queen. Yeah, Charles was on one side and Kate was on the other, and he talked to Kate more than Charles, making an ass out of himself. And then I couldn't believe they were interviewing some Londoners after he left. And they were saying, oh, I wish Charles would do some of the things here in London, in England that he does over, that Trump does over in America. I mean, he's doing such wonderful things. And I'm thinking, what news story are you watching? You get the American news over there. Are you paying attention? Yeah, Camilla probably pissed off that he wasn't hitting on her. Oh, Godzilla, I mean. Yeah, I couldn't believe some of these Londoners going, oh, he has done such amazing things for America. Like what? Tariffs? Cutting health care? Cutting benefits for seniors? Oh, yeah, done wonderful things. I didn't look. Are we still in shutdown? Because I know the Democrats aren't budging. Or at least yesterday they were still holding the line. I just feel sorry for like the TSA workers working for free. And the military. Yeah, I'm sure some of them TSA workers are financed up to the hilt, They need them paychecks. Big deal, they said. Well, when the government shutdown ends, it'll be retroactive. Yeah, tell that to your mortgage company. I'm getting a paycheck someday. Someday. I'm getting someday. Don't foreclose. I'm getting a paycheck someday. Don't repossess my car. I'm getting a paycheck someday. Don't shut my lights off. Please. Don't shut my gas off. Don't shut my cell phone off. I'm getting a paycheck someday. I'll make the payment retroactive. Like my paycheck. And then he's saying that a lot of the government workers that are on furlough might not get called back. How many people are you going to put out of a job? Then unemployment rolls will go up. Although, the other night, an actual nationwide poll, Jimmy Kimmel had a higher approval rating than Mr. Big Hair. The American American public approved more of Jimmy Kimmel than they did of Mr. Big Hair. I thought that was hilarious, especially considering he got Kimmel canned for 3 days. Then ABC said, we're bringing him back, which has got Trump pissed off because now he wants the FCC to pull ABC's broadcast license. I just hope everybody that voted for him is happy. We got a guy down the street. I've mentioned him before. He's got a lawn care service. He got Trump stuff all over his truck, on his trailer. I'd like to, next time he's out, I'm going to say, are you happy? Although if he was doing my lawn, I'd give him his walking papers. I'd tell him, hey, I'm going to hire somebody else. When you're in business like that, you keep your political views to yourself. Because you could lose a lot of customers. That's like the one mom and pop shop up the street. When it comes election time, they put signs in the window for Democrat and Republican. Oh, he's been begging for it. I deserve it. What? That's one prize you can't buy. He's been trying, though. I don't know how many times he's brought it up in his news conferences. I deserve the Nobel Prize. He didn't get it? Good. Because if he would have got it, you'd have known that whole organization is fixed. Yeah, I think every news conference. Matter of fact, it was hilarious. One of the reporters asked him about the Epstein files, and he went, I think I deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. That wasn't the right answer. Although I love it, just before he arrived over in London, they were beaming on the side of the castle pictures of him and Epstein together. Boy, there's a name for you. McAdoo? Am I reading that right? Wakadoo? Maria Wakadoo? McAdoo. Hang on a minute. I gotta get closer. McAdoo. interesting last name. Former deputy of the National Assembly of Venezuela. Anybody who was better than Mr. Big Hair. I bet you he's pissed. Oh, oh, I can hear the next news conference. I deserve that award. Yeah, right. Plus, he cheats at golf. I have read more news, you name it, CNN, Fox, AP, they all say he cheats at golf so that he can win. Especially at your own golf course. I could see his caddy. That was 4 strokes, Mr. President. It was 2. I counted 4. You're fired. Okay, it was 2. I didn't know he was going to mess with Norway. I know that he wants, what, Greenland? He wants to annex Greenland? At least he stopped with Canada, the 51st state. What are we going to do with Greenland? It's a big ice cube. Only polar bears live there. And seals. And penguins. He's going to have an army of penguins. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, well, we'll be invading Norway next. He'll send the National Guard over to Norway. Oh, I can't wait to watch the news in the morning. Oh, I bet you he's pissed off. Oh, my God. When he found out he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize, he probably went into his private quarters and threw a hissy fit. Probably picking up things, throwing them. God damn them people. Oh, I messed up my hair. Oh, shit. I better watch out. I'll get banned next. Ban that YouTube asshole. FBI will show up at my house, take all my computers. Searching the house. We know you got another computer hidden somewhere. You got all 47. Close. I have 2 here. I have 2 over in the other studio. I have 2 out in the living room. My 2 laptops, my 2 tablets, and my 2 cell phones. All gone. They'll all be gone. put that other monitor stand together so I can put up a third monitor and put a third computer over here. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I was thinking of hanging a monitor behind me and running news stories. I don't know. I get some weird ideas sometimes. Although maybe if they came in with a search warrant, they could find my cameras. Hey, look, we found these cameras. Oh, I've been looking for them. Still can't find them. I don't know where the hell I put them. They're probably wrapped in them red cargo shorts that I can't find. Oh, and I can see him doing all that shit too. 'Cause he got hurt feelings now. Although, what do we get from Norway besides sardines? I always see Norway sardines in the market. Product of Norway. What else do we get? I'm not up on my imports. Although I'll tell you what, I haven't noticed prices on certain automotive items going up. Thank God. It's amazing how cheap some parts are for that Passat. Well, yeah, because she didn't find dirt on the FBI head. Yeah, he wanted her to find dirt on the former head of the FBI, and she said, I can't find any. And she pissed him off. If you can't find it, you can't invent it. He has to realize he's the president, not the emperor. God, other countries are laughing their ass off at him. Although, have you seen the clip when he was over with King Charles and the procession of the horses and carriages were going by? I know they showed that clip about 1,000 times. Because as one horse walked by, it took a shit right in front of him. Matter of fact, every late night show ran that clip. I thought that was the one that was supposed to find dirt on the former FBI head. Well, that's one way to get out of paying. Well, Ron, they've tried twice. He's just lucky he moved his head when he did. And just got his ear grazed. You talk about split second timing. Not saying I wish that on anybody, but that guy was dead on until he turned his head. Ping! Ooh! It could be. You never know what the hell's going on. That's like, they declassified most of the Kennedy assassination. They still haven't declassified 100%. Now, I was back in 63. Kids today, they don't even know who he is. Oh, he was a president? Really? I would like to read it, but I'm not going to read 200,000 pages of documents. Yeah, he was, you talk about extremely lucky. Because had he not turned his head, it would have been a whole different story. They say everything happens in a split second. He was lucky. Ron, I still remember exactly where I was when the announcement was made that Kennedy was assassinated. I still, to this day, remember exactly where I was. And I was 12 years old. And I'm going to be 74 in November. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember exactly where I was on 9/11. Matter of fact, if I close my eyes, I can see me standing in the school office and the principal and the secretary were crying their eyes out. Because our room had a buzzer, and when they had items that had to go around to the teachers, they would buzz our room, and and we went in a rotational order. And that buzzer happened to be my turn. And I had to take notes to every teacher from kindergarten all the way up, stating school is being dismissed due to the president being assassinated. And the principal and the secretary were bawling. And I come in like, did I do something wrong? Take these envelopes and pass them out. And I didn't know until I got back to my classroom and handed the final envelope to my teacher. And she said, class is dismissed due to the president being assassinated. And most of us were like, what's assassinated? Yeah. I still remember the teacher, Miss Corday, my 6th grade. She was a female drill sergeant in the Army. Yeah, and she was a drill sergeant in 6th grade, too. And had breath that smelled like a Chinese restaurant dumpster. Oh my God, that woman had nasty breath for being a former veteran. Holy shit. She could knock a buzzard off a shit wagon a mile away, breathing in that direction. I always wanted to buy her a tube of toothpaste. I still remember duck and cover. We had to duck and cover. We had drills. Duck and cover. Oh, yeah, Kathy. Oh. That woman's breath. Oh. You think a Chinese dumpster smells bad. Oh, if she would breathe on you, your hair would fall out. Wherever her breath hurt. If her breath hit your hair, it fell right out. Oh, she had the nasty, and she'd get right in your face. Oh, Miss Corday, I'm gonna pass out. Please, please, breathe the other way, please. I can't hold my breath anymore. God, that woman, oh. And she was a female drill sergeant in the Army. And you would think she'd have better oral hygiene. Oh. Oh. I still to this day remember that breath. Oh, God. Her breath was so bad, if she breathed on this microphone, it would fucking melt. She was, if she dressed you down, she was right in your face. Her nose was almost touching yours. Oh, please, Miss Corday, please. Don't yell and breathe at the same time, please. Ugh. Every kid in that class made sure they towed the line because she would back you right up against the chalkboard. She'd make you get out of your seat. Stand over here by the chalkboard. Everybody take a deep breath. Baby turning fucking blue. She'd still be going. If I wouldn't have got expelled from school, I'd have bought her toothpaste and mouthwash and a toothbrush. God. Evidently, when she got out of the army, she gave up hygiene. And she wore those goofy shoes that the women wear. You know, the women have a certain clunky type shoe that they wear in the army. That's what she wore. And you talk about an oddball. She owned a checker marathon. We had a dealership in Berea because not every taxi cab company bought a checkers. Some people actually bought them. And she was one. She had a black checker. Everybody used to make fun of her. Oh, you got an old taxi cab. No, I do not. I bought that out in Berea. Checker dealer. Brand new. Not taxi cab. Well, it looks like one, except it's painted black. She always used to brag. It'll last me 100,000 miles. Okay, if you say so. Although she was afraid of flying, so when she'd go on vacation, she'd drive. And you know, during the summer, we got 3 months. She drove out to the Grand Canyon. She drove down to the Everglades. She drove out to New Mexico to look at the desert. Oh, this is crooked too? Oh, gee. Hey, your banner's crooked. Oh, I'm making it worse. I'll have to fix his tomorrow. I didn't notice. Matter of fact, I did notice his. All right, you'll get a reprieve here. I'll take the I'll take the zip tie off. Now look at the camera. Straighten your banner. There. I'll take care of Jackalope tomorrow. I got his on with tape. And the tape is crooked, Oh well. It was a quick banner sticking day. There. I didn't even notice it sagged. It was straight originally. Evidently the tape is letting go. That goddamn cheap tape I bought at Dollar Tree. I think the glue is letting go. See, his is stapled on. But I can't staple his on. I have to figure a way of mounting it. I don't want to drill a hole. I'll figure something out. Maybe I'll mount it on his antlers. Yeah, the staple's holding pretty good on his. I don't know if I could put a staple. Yeah, maybe. That'll give me something to work on tomorrow. Figure out how to permanently mount the banner under the jackalope. Oh, I forgot to take my CD out in the car. I took the CD player and I forgot the CD. That's all right. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll play the radio while I'm working on brakes, if it warms up enough. And then I noticed Volkswagens don't have lug nuts. They have bolts. Yeah, instead of studs sticking out, they have bolts. You take the bolts out, and the wheel falls off. I'm like, what a pain in the ass to get the goddamn rim back on the car. You have to hold it up somehow and try to get a bolt threaded in. Jeez. Talk about a stupid system. Yeah, instead of having lugs and lug nuts, they have bolts. Stupid system. I'm finding out more of the idiosyncrasies with that car. have to try to figure out. I want to put my federal vector light on the roof. That big triangle with the multiple domes on it. Spinning lights. The traffic advisor in the middle that goes in a figure eight to get your attention. I'm trying to figure out how to put that on the roof. One way or another, that's going on the car. I like that old vector light. Even though it's got rotators. No strobes, no flashing LEDs. I just like that big point. That big wedge on the roof. It was easy putting it on the RAV4. It's kind of a pain in the ass to figure out on the goddamn Passat. I'll figure it out one way or another. I want that roof light. My old Federal Vector. Christ, I bought that thing like 20 years ago at a police auction out of New York. It was an online New York City police auction. And when I got it here, it was all red and white. And I was like, oh, God, I have to change it. I called Federal Siren and Signal and said, do you have green domes for a Vector? And the guy said, well, let me look. He come back about 15 minutes later and said, we only got 4. I said, I'll take them. Because that's what I needed, 4. And I tested it today, and it still works like a charm. So it's going on the Passat. One way or another, it's going on the Passat. Gonna take a little engineering to get that one on there. But it'll be on there. Sure enough. Well, people, I think it's about that time. I have some hot Italian sausage waiting for me. What's going on with the tablet now? Jesus. Take care, everyone.